Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the 4Q FY22 earnings conference call of NTPC Limited, hosted by Batlivala and Karani Securities India Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rajesh Majumdar from Batlivala and Karani Securities India Private Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, hi. So good evening and a warm welcome to everyone. We have with us the NTPC management to present to us the Q4 and FY22 earnings call, headed by Mr. A.K. Gautam, Director of Finance. So I shall hand over the proceedings to Mr. A.K. Gautam, and then he can take us forward from there. Over to you, Mr. Gautam.
Thank you, Rajesh. Yeah. A very good evening to everybody. I, A.K. Gautam, Director of Finance, welcome all of you to the Q4 FY22 Concall of NTPC Limited. NTPC continues to deliver phenomenal performance and support the nation by ensuring uninterrupted supply of power. I have with me Sri Ramesh Babu V, Director Operations, Sri Chandan Kumar Mandal, Director Commercial. I also have with me other key members of the NTPC team. Today, the company has announced the audited financial results for the FY22 along with financial results for Q4 FY22. The key performance highlights for the financial year and quarter ended 31st March 2022 have also been disclosed on both the stock exchanges. Operational highlights of FY22. During FY22, NTPC has added 3,372 megawatt capacity to its portfolio, commercial capacity of 4,032 megawatt, including 502 megawatt capacity from renewable sources was added in FY22. The commercial capacity of NTPC has now become 54,597 megawatt on a standalone basis and 68,302 megawatt for the group as on 31st March 2022. NTPC Group generated 361 billion units and recorded highest ever annual generation in FY22 as compared to 314 billion units in FY22, an increase of 15%. NTPC's standalone gross generation in FY22 is 299 billion units as compared to 271 billion units in the corresponding previous year, registering an increase of 10%. NTPC Group recorded highest day generation of 1.22 billion units on 16th March 2022. During FY22, PLF of coal-based stations of NTPC was 70.74%, as against the national average of 58.76%, thereby maintaining a spread of almost 12%. For FY2022, 3 coal stations of NTPC, which Korba, Vindhyachal and Rihand, were among the top 10 performing stations in the country in terms of PLF. NTPC Group, being a leader in the power sector, has a strong commitment towards renewable energy and would be targeting RE capacity of 60 gigawatt by FY32. NTPC has diversified into producing energy through cleaner and greener sources such as hydro, wind, solar and other green hydrogen solutions. Company has also forayed into variety of business areas including fuel cells, e-mobility and waste to energy. NTPC Group has already commissioned 1,852 megawatt of RE projects under EPC mode till FY22. 3,440 megawatt of RE projects, including ongoing projects of NTPC REL, are presently under construction. Further, bids of 2,830 MW have been won. During the period, we have suffered losses due to grid restrictions and fuel supply. The generation loss due to grid restriction in FY22 was 97 billion units as compared to 122 billion units in the previous year. The generation loss on account of fuel supply constraint was 7 billion units in FY22. Now I will touch upon status of fuel supply. During the FY22, materialization of coal against ACQ was 92.83% as against 86.72% in FY21. Coal supply during FY22 was 195.63 million metric ton, including 2.47 million metric ton of imported coal. The coal supply during the corresponding previous year was 170.24 million metric ton, including 0.92 million metric ton of imported coal. NTPC has registered a growth of over 27% in the production from its captive coal mines. Total coal production of 14.02 million metric ton was recorded during FY22 as against 11 million metric ton in FY21. Cumulative expenditure of 7,963.66 crore has been incurred on the development of coal mines till 31st March 2022. Now I will update you on various other financial activities. Total income of NTPC for FY22 is 1,20,042.43 crore as against corresponding previous year total of 1,03,552.71 crore, registering an increase of 15.92%. PAT for FY22 is 16,111.42 crore as against 13,769.52 crore in FY21, registering an increase of 17.01%. Total income of the group for FY22 is 1,34,994.31 crore as against corresponding previous year total income of 1,15,546.83 crore, registering an increase of 16.83%. PAT for the group for FY22 is 16,960.29 crore as against corresponding previous year PAT of 14,969.40 crore, registering an increase of 13.30%. The performance of our JV and subsidiaries has been outstanding in FY22. Our subsidiaries have earned profit of 1,946.78 crore in FY22 as compared to rupees 1,737.60 crore in corresponding previous year, registering an increase of 12%. The share of NTPC in JV profit has increased by 49% from rupees 683.87 crore in FY21 to rupees 1,020.13 crore in FY22. During the FY22, we have accounted dividend income of 2,134.34 crore from our subsidiaries and joint venture companies as against 1,274.19 crore received against during FY21. For FY22, the board has recommended final dividend of 3 rupees per share at a share price of 10 per share, subject to the approval of shareholders in the ensuing general meeting. As you are aware, interim dividend for FY22 at the rate of 40% of the paid up share capital, that is 4 rupees per share, has already been paid in February 2022. The regulated equity as on 31st March 22 of NTPC standalone and group was 70,890 crore and rupees 91,054 crore respectively. We expect our regulated equity to grow at a double-digit CAGR over coming years based on the capacity already under construction, making NTPC a compelling investment pick. Gross block and capital work in progress of NTPC Limited. The gross block has increased by 26,833.54 crore to rupees 2,38,390.91 crore as at 31st March 2022. And on group level, gross block has increased by 35,431.48 crore to rupees 3,08,125.18 crore, mainly on account of capitalization of new units. CWIP stood at 68,598.66 crore as at 31st March 2022 as compared to 75,343.60 crore as at 31st March 2021. At the group level, CWIP stood at 91,025.21 crore as at 31st March 2022 compared to rupees 97,404.16 crore as at 31st March 2021. The ratio of gross block to CWIP is 3.48 in FY2022 as compared to 2.81 in FY21. We expect growth to continue further forward and believe the turnaround from CWIP to gross block would be quicker because of greater mix of renewable capacity having a shorter gestation period. Now, fund mobilization. During the FY22, the company has signed a syndicated term loan of $750 million with a door-to-door maturity of 10 years on 25th March 2022 with the consortium of banks. The loan is first SOFR, secured overnight financing date based floating rate of loan. During FY22, NTPC Renewable Energy Limited has signed a term loan of rupees 500 crore with Bank of India and received a sanction for total term loan of rupees 2,070 crores. Average cost of borrowing for FY22 is 5.94% as compared to 6.24% in FY21. CapEx in FY22, we have incurred a CapEx of 21,035.87 crore on a standalone basis and total group CapEx of rupees 34,490.55 crore. The capital outlay for FY23 on a standalone basis has been estimated at 22,454 crore for NTPC. Now, certain highlights about the commercial function of the company. During FY22, NTPC has realized 1,16,148 crore, which is almost more than 100% of the billed amount. During FY22, rupees 8,800.32 crore bills were discounted with the banks as against rupees 18,323.60 crore discounted during FY21. Further, the trade receivables are maintained at a level of less than 45 days of sales. Further, I would like to list few other highlights. NTPC Renewable Energy Limited has obtained the highest domestic credit rating of AAA within 1 year of its incorporation. NTPC Renewable Energy Limited have been issued letter of intent from Government of Rajasthan for development of 10 gigawatt RE parks public projects in Rajasthan. Also, it has signed a joint venture agreement with Damodar Valley Corporation to set up ultra mega renewable energy power park and projects on reservoirs and land owned by DVC. This joint venture agreement marks the preliminary step for the formation of joint venture company with equity participation from NTPC Renewable Energy Limited and DVC in the ratio of 51:49. NTPC has signed a MOU with Energy Vault Incorporation USA for developing sustainable grid-scale gravity energy storage solutions. The objective of the MOU is to collaborate and formalize a long-term strategic partnership for deployment of Energy Vault's gravity-based energy storage technology and software solutions. The technology also offers beneficial utilization of coal ash for manufacturing of composite blocks for Energy Vault's gravity-based energy storage system. Accordingly, this collaboration will promote a circular economy. NTPC is an innovative initiative and provided the technology to fire the waste sludge at National Capital Power Station Unit 4 boiler at Dadri. This is the first of its kind initiative in India by NTPC. The Green Initiative Technological Solution shall be a new step for converting STP sludge into energy in an environmentally friendly way. The technology shall help in reducing CO2 emissions and at the same time make available a locally made alternate biofuel for boilers. With the continued focus on clean environment, NTPC has taken up initiative of blending of green hydrogen in PNG network of GGL, that is Gujarat Gas Limited at NTPC Kawas. A formal agreement between the two companies has been signed. Green hydrogen will be produced by using electricity from the existing 1 megawatt floating solar project of NTPC Kawas. This will be blended with PNG in a predetermined proportion and will be used for cooking applications in NTPC Kawas township. Initially, the percentage of hydrogen blending in the PNG shall be around 5%, and after successful completion, it shall be further increased. As an environmental management initiative, flue gas desulfurization system are under various stages of implementation and tendering for our coal-based stations. NVVN, our trading subsidiary, transacted 24 billion units during the FY22, as against 19 billion units during FY21, registering a growth of 31%. This is the highest ever trading volume achieved by NVVN. NTPC has been bestowed with the India's Best Workplaces in Manufacturing 2022 Top 30, recognition by the Great Place to Work Institute for the 5th year in a row. NTPC has been conferred Excellence in prestigious CII ITC Sustainability Award 2021 in Corporate Social Responsibility category, twice in a row. We have also won the ATD Best Award 2022. These were some of the highlights I wanted to share before we begin the question and answer session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Mohit K. from DAM Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir, and congratulations on a good set of numbers. So my first question is...
please go ahead with your question. Your line is
hi,
muted.
can you hear me? Hello, yeah, hi. Am I audible? Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
sir, you are.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, hi, good morning. Good evening, sir. Congratulations on a good set of numbers. So my first question is, where are we in the journey of monetization of our renewables portfolio, and are we reasonably confident of completing some transaction in this fiscal?
You will do? Should I? Okay, as you know that we have already created wholly owned subsidiary of NTPC Limited, that is NTPC Green Energy Limited. Under its umbrella, the companies like NTPC Vidyut Vyapar Nigam, NTPC Renewable Energy Limited will be there. In this company, post getting clarification from the Ministry of Power regarding taxation issues, renewable assets which are lying in NTPC will be transferred to this company. And on getting transferred to this company, we will be going for either the IPO directly in the market or through some strategic investor. Yes, we are planning to have certain amount of monetization during the FY22-23.
Only NVVN will not be there.
Okay. Director Commercial just confirmed that NVVN will not be under this umbrella.
Understood, sir. My second question is, given the the supply demand situation, do you think there will be some revival in thermal capacity addition, and we will have some role to play in the interim till the time the energy transition goes through?
Okay, I will ask my ED, PPM to please address this question.
Yeah. We are going to add approximately another 5,000 megawatt of power in the days to come to augment the power requirement of the country.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
So my question was. No, so my question was, are we going to see some sort of revival in thermal capacity addition, given the shortages? Do you think we will need to put on some more capacity in medium term?
I think he has already given your question answer that we will be going to set up another 6 gigawatt of capacity in respect of thermal power stations.
Will it be blue or it will be pure thermal capacity?
It will be brown thermal capacity addition.
It will be. I think he's talking about carbon capture. Yes, that is also. So we are planning to we have just floated a tender to add 2 into 660 megawatt at our old Talcher power station. So that is for certain that is going to come, and it is a thermal capacity only.
And apart from that, let me update. Singrauli is 1600 megawatt, Lara 1600 megawatt, and Darlipalli 660 megawatt.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, and all the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Puneet Gulati from HSBC. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. My first question is with respect to the quarter-on-quarter improvement in profitability, while the capacity addition was limited to about 300 megawatts. Can you talk about what has really driven this growth?
What is the question? I could not get. Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, saying your quarter-on-quarter profitability has been quite impressive. 41 billion going up to 56 on standalone basis, while the capacity addition for the quarter was only about 294 or 300 megawatts. What has driven this earnings growth?
Actually, you are talking about the profit after tax, na?
Yes.
You know that in the previous quarter we made certain tax adjustments under the Vivad se Vishwas scheme, which had led to reduced taxation of around 2,000 crores in the previous year.
Okay.
In addition, I would like to add one more point. The capacity addition that you are talking about being added in the fourth quarter, we also have to take in account the capacity added during the entire year if you are comparing quarter to quarter.
And also there are certain GRC orders which have been received during the current quarter.
Okay. And what would have been the impact of those?
I think impact you can, just a minute please. Quarter to quarter, previous year sales is around 821 crores.
Okay.
Yeah, that is there. Other items you can obtain from Aditya.
Okay. The second is also, if I look at the standalone profit versus the consolidated profit, it seems the subsidiaries were a negative number. Can you help clarify what really happened in this quarter?
It is mainly because of in the standalone financial statement we accounted for dividend,
Okay.
which on a consolidated basis was eliminated.
Okay. Got it. What would be the profitability by subsidiaries otherwise?
Huh? Just a minute, please. Yearly, no? So profit after tax from the subsidy companies is 1,946.77 crore as against 772.53 crore in the corresponding previous period. Oh, sorry. 1737.60 crore in the previous year.
Oh, 70. Okay, got it. That's helpful. Thank you so much and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rahul Modi from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. A couple of questions. So what would be the bidding pipeline which you are expecting over the next 6 to 12 months in renewables that would come up? And secondly, how is the solar module market currently? Because I believe now with ALMM coming in, we've got limited suppliers. So how do you see the supplies panning out? Thank you.
Rahul, Mohit will answer this question.
Yeah, good afternoon, Rahul. Bidding pipeline is actually guided more by SECI and MNRE rather than by us. So our expectation is that they might go ahead with bidding of around at least 10 gigawatt in the balance period of the year, if not more. On the solar module side, yes, the supply is constrained because all these factors have come together, ALMM plus BCD and overall inflation in the prices. So there is inflation pressures there. But everyone is hoping for some kind of grandfathering or something else which will release this so that the module supply starts.
Sir, is it causing any delays as such, or do you think you are more or less comfortable in terms of timeline?
Some of our existing projects will face a little bit of delays, but not only because of modules, that's also because of GIB issues.
Right. Perfect. So that's very helpful. Just last question broadly on coal availability. With obviously we're reading a lot in the headlines. Sir, how is our coal availability, currently, and on the imports that we are targeting? Thank you.
Mr. Babu, Director of Operations, will be addressing.
Right now we have around 12 days coal available with us. And as per the government guidelines, we are also importing coal. We have already placed some orders, and some coal has already started coming to the port, and we are shipping them to our stations.
So what would be the price of imported coal, just to understand the trend that's coming?
The price of the import coal is actually dependent on the index at the time of loading. So it varies. When the index goes high, then we need to pay more. If the index is less, we'll pay less. It is linked to the index.
Right.
But right now the index is around $40.
Okay. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Subhadip Mitra from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity. So my first question is, if you could please tell us what is the adjusted PAT number for fourth quarter and full year FY22?
For the fourth quarter, it is 4,559.98 crore as against 3,831.01 crore in the corresponding previous quarter.
Okay, and for the full year, sir?
Full year, it is 14,700.99 crore as against 14,218.07 crores.
So it's 14,218 for the last year versus 14,700 for the current year.
Correct. 14,701.
Okay, understood. So secondly, just to get an update on the capacity addition that we are looking at. I think if I remember the numbers correctly, as per the last call, we are looking at about close to 4 gigawatt of thermal additions in FY23 and a similar number for 24 with maybe another 1.2 gigawatt of renewables. If you can just give us an update as to how much you're seeing getting added in 23 and 24, and if possible, split that between thermal and renewable.
Yeah. Actually, we already told that we'll be adding approximately 6 gigawatt of thermal, and also that for your question, which is pertaining to 22, 23 specifically, we'll be adding 5 gigawatt, and for 23, 24, we'll be adding approximately 6 gigawatt.
So if I heard you correctly, sir, you're saying that we are adding about 5 gigawatt in FY23 and 6 gigawatt in FY24. If possible, if you can split this up between the thermal and the renewable part, how much of FY23 5 gigawatt is thermal and renewable, and same for 24?
Yeah, in this financial year 22-23, which have 5 gigawatt, the renewables will be approximately 1.5 gigawatt. And for 23-24, the renewables will be approximately 950 gigawatt, 950 megawatt, or 9 gigawatt.
Right. So 950 megawatt in FY24 and 1.5 gigawatt in FY23. Correct? Okay, understood. Lastly, a question with regard to one of the earlier questions where we talked about some of the renewable projects which may see delays because of GIB issues and also because of the modules. Is it possible, sir, to quantify that how much of our capacities are getting impacted by GIB?
As of now, Subhadeep, I think roughly 900 megawatt is impacted by GIB because we have to get the permission from the committee appointed by the Honorable Supreme Court. So we are in that process. So that's about 900 megawatts.
So, sir, is this 900 megawatt included in any of the targets for FY23 or 24, or these are not included?
Yeah. That is included. In fact, the FY24 number would be actually higher. But anyway, so that is included in this target. We are expecting to get the clearance the next few months.
Understood. So in case there is, let's say, a worst case scenario of further delay that happens with regard to the Supreme Court rulings, then the 24 target number could get impacted. Am I right in understanding that?
No, I don't get it, because if there's a delay, the applications have already been put. So if delay happens, these capacities get shifted to the next year. 24 doesn't seem to be impacted.
Yeah, so maybe I'm not understanding it correctly. I just wanted to understand that this 900 megawatt or 950 megawatt that we are saying renewables which we are targeting for FY24, does that number get impacted in case these projects further?
No. So it is again speculation, because when we get the approval and all these things, as of now, these numbers are about the projects which are under construction. Anything which is being awarded in this year will obviously either come next year or the year after that. So that is expected not to be impacted by the GIB. So this 900 megawatt would largely be, we expect that mostly to be commissioned this year only.
Okay, understood. So these are targeted basically for FY23. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Anuj Upadhyay from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Yep. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. So one clarification, the number which you quoted at 5 gigawatt, 6 gigawatt capacity addition, this is on a console basis and not the standalone. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Fine, thanks, sir. Is there any fixed cost under recovery? Can you quantify the fixed cost under recovery which we had booked for the current fiscal? And was this largely because of the fuel supply issue or some other reason?
Yeah, during the
current financial year, it is 453 crores as against 600 crores in the previous year.
Okay, thank you, sir. And two things, sir, again. One, the status on the Khavda, where exactly we are positioned, when we expect the project to get commissioned out there in the phase 1, firstly. And secondly, you also mentioned about the 10 gigawatt of RE, where we have signed LOI from the Rajasthan. So any timeline by when we expect to commission? Would it happen in a phase-wise, and for what period of time the entire 10 gigawatt would get commissioned?
So the Khavda, we intend to start the work in the next 1.5 months or so, and the timeline is to commission close to around 2.5 gigawatt in the next 30 months. That's the timeline as of now. And of course, balance capacity. You got it?
That's 2.5 gigawatt over next 30 months, right?
Yeah. About 2.5 gigawatt in the next 30 months.
Okay.
And we intend to start the work in the next 1.5 months.
1.5 months.
The Rajasthan park thing is still under discussion. In fact, we've had a couple of meetings with the Rajasthan officials, and they have started identification of the land which they will offer to us. So that is still too premature to talk about in terms of the capacity addition timeline.
Okay, fine, sir. One final clarification on this Rajasthan, the 10 gigawatt deal, sir. Does this also fall under the area where we are facing GIB issues, or it's altogether different land parcel?
Then I think you hit the nail on the head. That is exactly the reason Rajasthan government is taking a bit more time to identify the land, because they don't want it to be covered under the GIB criteria.
Fair enough, sir. Thanks. That's it from my end.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sumit Kishore from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Good evening and thanks for the opportunity. My first question is for Mohit sir on renewables. Earlier you had expressed that NTPC would have a 15 gigawatt renewable capacity by FY25. What is the scale down and realistic target now? And if you could also give us the number on the operational RE capacity of NTPC today, what is in standalone, what is in subsidiaries, and what is the total size of the portfolio, including under construction and under implementation capacity?
Too many questions in one go. So I am not sure whether I remembered all of them, but okay. So we have, I think it was already mentioned by Director of Finance in his opening remarks, we have 1852 megawatts which is under operation today. In fact, that number got increased by 35 megawatt just today because we started work on another capacity. That is the number we have today. Your initial question regarding 15 gigawatt, obviously this discussion was when the impact of COVID had not been factored in. To that extent, we expect there to be a delay of about 12 months in achieving this capacity because there have been headwinds in terms of getting the work done and all these issues have been there. So, but we are not significantly deviating from what we had stated up front. And what was the third part?
Yeah, what is the total size of your renewable portfolio today? So we know the operational RE capacity. What is the size of the under construction portfolio right now, and the under implementation of whatever you call it?
Yeah, so operational capacity is 1852.
Yeah.
Under construction, where the work is already in progress, is about 3,400. We have about 2,800 megawatt, which is under tendering. So that is pipeline as of now.
Okay, 2,800 megawatt under tendering. And sir, you had mentioned that there was this 15 gigawatt sort of expression of interest for module sourcing. How has that progressed, and has that got settled because the module prices have been elevated and there are uncertainties?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We had come out with the EOI, but since the module prices have been very high, so we in fact intended to go ahead with the long-term sourcing of the modules. So that's something which is held back as of now because we are waiting for some more normalization in the module prices because even the bidders are not very confident to offer a price which they will be able to hold for some time.
Fair enough. And, when it was mentioned earlier that 6 gigawatt of new coal-based capacity is going to get added, I'm just wondering that, with so much, global opposition to addition of new coal-based capacity, which banks in India are going to fund a loan for these projects? Overseas banks, I understand, overseas funding will be very difficult for new thermal projects.
I think we will get the funding. That is the very simple.
So what will be the source of funding? I'm just trying to understand.
Source of funding would be from domestic sources, and we will also try for bonds from the international market.
Okay. Last question. What was the late payment surcharge in FY22 versus FY21? And what was the PLF incentive in FY22 versus FY21?
Surcharge in FY22 is 754 crores as against 2,316 crores in the corresponding previous year.
Sure.
And if you want the quarter numbers also, it is during the current quarter it is 161 crores as against 620 crores in the corresponding quarter of the previous year.
Okay. And PLF incentive?
Incentive is almost similar in the year 386, 399, 386 in current year as against 399 in the previous year. In quarter also almost similar, 69 in current quarter versus 45 in the previous quarter.
Thank you. So what is the figure of overdue receivable at the end of FY22? That's my last question.
Mandal sir, overdue receivable. Just a second.
Overdue as on 31st March. It is as on 31st March. It was 4,274 crore.
Okay, and this figure was about what, 60 billion rupees as of FY21?
Last year, what was the figure?
Last year it was 5,616.
5,000. Thank you so much, sir, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Deepika Mundra from JP Morgan. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So just two questions. Firstly, on captive mining, what is the outlook in terms of potential for next few years in terms of output and capex? And secondly, for the gas-based power plants, can you walk us through the outlook for those in terms of regulated equity recognition?
Well, captive mining, I can only tell that last year our captive production was 14.1 million ton, and FY22-23 we have a target of producing approximately 26 million ton, which is more than 80% increase in the capacity. And definitely FY24 right now I will not be able to tell you how much we will be doing it, because we are in the process of awarding a new contract, new MDOs to our mines like Karandari and Talaipalli. And if it is awarded, definitely it will be more than this capacity of 26 million ton what we are planning this year. And what was your second question?
Gas-based.
Gas-based, yeah. Gas-based today, right now, gas price is very high. So definitely it will be very difficult for running the gas plant because most of their ECR may not be sustainable, may not come under this merit order dispatch. But still we will continue to have the fixed charges because except for few capacity which some of the discoms have already surrendered, and that capacity is approximately 1,000 megawatt out of the total capacity of 6,000 megawatt capacity, and 1,000 megawatt has been surrendered by various discoms. But we are trying to allocate this capacity to other discoms if they are willing, and probably government is also going to take certain steps because of the power shortage in the current scenario, and our government has already approached GAIL to arrange the best possible gas rates, on which I think most likely that POSOCO is going to run this capacity on emergency basis for the grid security.
Understood, sir. Thank you. And sir, would you be able to give us the total revenue for the renewable 80 megawatt projects which have been operational so far for the past year?
I think right now it is not available. You can obtain this information from Aditya sir separately.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aniket Mittal from SBI Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Just a couple of questions from my side. So firstly, just to understand on this incremental brownfield capacity addition that we're doing in Singrauli, Lara and Darlipalli, what stages of discussion are we in? Has any of the discoms come forth to ask for you for these incremental capacities, and have you tied up PPAs for these incremental capacities?
This addition we have already indicated you that 6 gigawatt we are thinking, and so far as PPA
is concerned, for Singrauli and Lara we are already having the consent for this PPA. We are already having.
Okay, and who are the discoms with which we are doing this incremental 3.2 gigawatt of PPA?
In case of Singrauli, it is northern region, and in case of Lara, it is western region.
So we've got to go ahead in terms of the PPA, and these would be 25-year PPAs?
It will not be a problem, but there are other, we still have to have the environment clearance in case of Lara. I think Singrauli is already here. Singrauli is
already available.
So, yeah.
No, not in terms of fuel. So I was asking in terms of Singrauli and Lara. So you're saying that the PPAs, we've got to go ahead from the discoms, and these would be 25-year PPAs.
It will be 25-year PPA, definitely.
Okay. And so as per your estimates then, when do you see Talcher, Singrauli and Lara then coming on board? Any rough timelines that you have in mind by when you can set up this incremental 5 gigawatts?
Talcher already NIT is done. I think
the investment approval is like to happen in about August, and the schedule is about 50 months.
Sorry, I could not hear you. Could you repeat that?
What he is telling that in case of Talcher, which is 1320 megawatt power station, that investment approval likely to happen in August, and thereafter for completion it will be taking 4 years time.
Okay. And in case of
Singrauli is concerned, that NIT is yet to take place. So that NIT
So that's the inventory.
This Singrauli and Lara, they are under active discussion.
Okay. That's still under discussion. Okay, fair. And one question on the capex front. So if I look at the NTPC renewable energy entity in itself, could you tell me what would be the capex for NTPC RE over the next 3 years, and split that up between your solar capacity and green hydrogen, please?
I think what we can share with you right now is the tentative numbers for the next year, because beyond that, a lot of things are linked to the projects which are accorded investment approval and the working of pay. So next year, tentatively, we are looking at a number of about 8,000 crores for the RE.
8,000 crores for RE.
Next year, meaning the current fiscal.
Okay, FY22. And just to understand on the green hydrogen front, because there are some pilot projects that we have started, I think, undertaking and ordering at a couple of our plants. I think Simadri is one. We're also, I think, looking to do it one of our other plants as well. So if you could just highlight what is the sort of capex that we're looking to put over there, any other incremental plans that we are trying to develop this on a pilot basis.
Yeah, capex now.
No, plan.
Okay. Okay, plans. So you're right. We talked about Simadri earlier. Other one was mentioned in the opening remarks by Director Finance, that we have signed an agreement with Gujarat Gas to blend hydrogen in the natural gas, which they will supply as piped natural gas in the Kawas township of NTPC. Then the other pilot which is already underway is at Vindhyachal, where we are doing green hydrogen plus carbon capture and convert that into green methanol. So that's the third pilot, which is for which partly the work has started. Fourth, of course, is the mobility pilot, for which we intend to place orders in the next 2 months. Yeah, the next 2 months or so for the hydrogen buses as well as the hydrogen filling stations. So that, as of now, is the broad thing.
Okay, fair. And in general, what would be the capex related to these pilot projects right now?
These are basically pilot projects, and capex numbers. Of course, we can compile it separately, and maybe others can. Yeah, it can be given separately.
Sure, that works. So thank you for taking my question, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Swarnim Maheshwari from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Sir, you mentioned about 6 gigawatt of brownfield capacity. What could be the likely capex over here?
It will be around 60,000 crores. Around 60,000 crores.
60,000 crores. Okay. Sir, that works out to be close to 10 crore rupees per megawatt. But since these are brownfield, what is it actually causing such a high cost? Because I believe greenfield is more closer to 8 to 10.
Yeah. It is because we have also to clear the areas in the greenfield project to make them available for generation of new powerhouse. We have to shift certain assets also. But I told you approximate expenditure. It is not necessary it will be 10 gigawatt. It can be 9 also. 8 or 9. And they will involve FGD.
Yeah, so one is FGD capex. Okay. Okay. And sir, safe to say that all of them will be on the regulated also, right? Only regulated, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Swarnim.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Abhineet Anand from MK Global. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Two things. First, I wanted to know on the thermal side, what is the amount of capacity that is going out of PPA in 23, 24, 25, or a cumulative number if you can give the next few years?
Well, I think at some point of time, DISCOM wanted that they will be exiting. Now they are approaching us for the capacity if anything is available. But unfortunately, NTPC does not have a single megawatt available to be given to anybody. So we don't think another 4 or 5 years there will be any question of exiting thermal capacity from by any DISCOM.
The gas power plant that you talked about, I think 1,000 out of the 6,000 that we have, those can be at risk?
Well, yes. This risk is only that we may not be getting the corresponding ROE from those stations. Nothing otherwise that ROE amount will be very minimal. These are all old power station already. We have recovered this depreciation, etc. So as such,
government is also rethinking how to run these gas-based power plants. So they are in active discussion.
Sure. And secondly, sir, on the FGD side, majority of the orders have been given. If you can give a ballpark number in the next 1-2 years when everything, all this FGD is being installed, what could be the incremental capex from NTPC side on just on the FGD that would have been done?
Just a minute.
Yeah, for FGD capex, we are targeting approximately 3,400 crores for this financial year and approximately 4,000 crores for the next financial year.
So, I mean, these are the capex that you would be doing, right?
Yeah.
So, what I was also trying to understand, cumulatively, what is the spend on FGDs that we would have done? Because that will then come under our regulated part, right?
It is 29,330 crores.
And all this by F25, I presume, will be spent, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Those were my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the last question for today. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Rajesh Majumdar for closing comments. Mr. Rajesh, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
You are audible.
Okay, yeah. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for a very interactive session, and thank you to the management of NTPC for conducting this session for us. I wish all the participants goodbye, and thank you once again for attending the NTPC Q4 and FY22 earnings call. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of Batliwala and Karani Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.